Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. What is up?
What's up, brother? I feel like I'm on a magic.
Killed in the comments by one Mr. Eric Wolfenstein and
Where
one
the
Mr.
fuck are y'all
Scott.
at? It was 9:30. I passed my bedtime already.
Just like my father wasn't there when they said they'd be. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like your dad and smack you in the ass. Fucking Sam, you did awesome, dude. When he started the countdown, you weren't there. He would go up here and there. I'm like, oh, it's like a magic show. All right.
I was actually early. I was just waiting around. I was all planned.
That's fucking awesome, dude. It's like little magic Sam. He's like, I am.
So how you gentlemen been this week?
Oh, pretty good, man.
No.
Can't complain. I'm enjoying a post WrestleMania week, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty big. I've seen a lot of hubbub about that on the internet, man. I don't know what's significant or not, but it seems like people enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I think they did.
Decent Mania. Yeah.
It was a good Mania. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
I don't know that people calling it the best of all time.
Well, I don't know. I think it depends on. I don't know. It depends on how if you like old school shit or not. You know, I don't know.
Well, it's
if there's that conversation though, that's probably good for the sport, right?
Sure.
Sometimes you have that conversation. Oh yeah, and that's right. Wolfenstein went live, baby.
Oh, nice. Where was it? Was it in Pittsburgh? It was in
Philly. Yeah, in Philly. Yeah. Well, so Wolfie was there. Hey, good for you, Wolf. Man, I was. Which night? Did he go both nights?
It's in his neck of the woods.
Don't know. He'll answer. Hopefully.
Yeah, Wolfie, did you go both nights?
But yeah, sometimes though we have these conversations, and just because it's the new shiny thing, think that it belongs in the echelons of.
That's true. And this was the first
Wolfie
one where
go both nights.
Hey, good for you, Wolf.
This is Triple H's first one. And so, like you were going to say, like starting off strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would say he did pretty good. There's a couple of things you can always nitpick with these kind of types of shows.
Good deal, Scott. You're gonna be happy.
But I think for the most part, they did good. I was worried they were just gonna like have every damn title change hands. You know, I was concerned, but they didn't. They didn't. So that was good.
Man.
You know,
like the one I was watching with Jose, right? And so I was like, man, I don't want Becky to beat Rhea, man.
Oh man. Woo! Well, I know. I think I was pretty sure I'd heard that Becky's going to be taking like time off here and there. You know, she's really promoting the shit out of her book and stuff, and she's got other stuff. So I didn't think they were going to give her the belt. Like it was almost an unrealistic. Like it was one of those things you could. Yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense. She's not going to be around a lot.
Yeah,
but plus, I think they really like having Rhea as the champion. She's the dominant.
She is dominant, isn't she?
She's the new dominant female. Man, she's a hot.
Man. She's dominant in my bank,
dude. What a hot piece of ass! Oh my god!
I'm telling you, man.
There's something crazy about that. I mean, man, I'm like, I feel dirty because I remember watching her when she was really young. It's like 21 and 22, and I'm like, and she's like, I mean, dude, she's like around the same age as my. Well, she's a little older than my daughter now. Yeah, she's older than my daughter now. But
all that, buddy.
I don't know. It's kind of, but I feel it's dirty, dude. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. I'd get dirty. I'd get dirty with her though.
She is a beautiful woman.
Yes, she is.
Buddy Murphy's a lucky man.
Yeah, you believe that?
And she's making money too.
Oh, she's doing real well. Yeah,
dude, the thing is like I've seen her in like interviews and shit, and she is sweet as pie.
Yeah, she's like a normal, cool.
What's up, Wesley?
Hey, well, 27. Good golly, Miss.
Yeah, my brother and I were talking.
Too young.
My brother and I were talking about her. My brother thinks that she's too big for the Judgment Day. He thinks they need to take her out of the Judgment Day. He said she's just too awesome by her. And I said, well, no, I don't want to do that. I said, well, she got to take Dom with her. And he goes, why? And that's because Dom are good together.
That's the thing. Like, she's dominant, like, in the group.
Yeah, she is. I almost think she's like the leader of the group.
Judgment Day.
Yeah. She runs that shit.
Yeah, because if mommy ain't happy, nobody's happy.
That's right. Mommy's the one that tells all of them what they need to take care of. It's great. And like, look what she's done with Dominic. She's done a really good job with Dominic, with
that whole
helping
Judgment
him.
Day group has.
They all worked with him well. But I mean, I think he spent the most time with her.
Yeah,
and she even travels with her a lot, and so they're like they really developed a good friendship, and a good working relationship where she can helps him out a lot when it comes to like. Well, of course, he doesn't get to say much on the mic anyway because the fucking crowd boos him out of their goddamn mind.
I can't stand Dom. Dude sucks so much.
Yeah, crazy. How can you say that? Dom is amazing. Anyone who says Dom sucks is stupid. You don't understand pro wrestling.
You just called Jesus stupid and told Jesus that he doesn't understand the art of grappling.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Don't strike me with lightning. I'm sorry. Jesus, I apologize.
Rock Jesus.
buddy.
No, I understand people would criticize him for his in-ring work, and I get it. He's gotten a lot better than he was. I can tell you that now. But he's still a king. He's still got a ways to go. But dude, he knows how to get heat. He knows just what to say. Just the dirty shit that he does is great. I mean, it was so cool. He goes over and starts beating his dad's ass, man. After he cost him a match, I love it. I mean, he's the world's most hated son. Yeah.
So the Judgment Day not the Judgment Day. The Bloodline won the tag match the first night to get the Bloodline rules for the championship match.
Yep.
So that was an overbooked mess, but it fucking worked.
And I was gonna say your critique of when that would be the thing I would critique a little bit. I felt like it was overdone. A little bit too much of that, Yeah. This also didn't get The Rock in on both nights.
Yeah.
And they can get it was just ridiculous. I don't know, but that's okay. I get it. Why not?
Like from I'm not well versed in this stuff. Was there like a decent enough balance of, because I know like the old the old stuff appeals to people, and like The Rock coming back, obviously, but then it's the same hand. Like, was there enough newer, like focus on newer people to balance that out?
Well, that was the whole thing. Was the whole reason that The Rock and everybody was involved was to get Cody Rhodes over.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Even more than he is so far.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing. If you end a streak like what Roman Reigns had, I mean, he's in you fucking talk about it. Bruno Sammartino held the belt for 8 years.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund held it for 6. Hogan held it for 4. Reigns is next. That's a top 4 for title reigns.
It is.
That's
I think
very significant. So
I think they learned
to end a reign like that. You need to build something off of it that you think can actually be bigger.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I also think they learned their lesson too. Think about what happened. They had Brock Lesnar into the Undertaker streak. Okay. Yeah. Undertaker wanted that, by the way. That was Undertaker that said, if we're going to end the streak, that's what was. But it didn't go over well. It really didn't go over well. Wrestling fans were like not happy about it because I think the wrestling fans felt like if they're going to end the streak, they got to do it with do somebody different or do some kind of build up. Something. They felt like it was just kind of a surprise, just jutted on them, And I don't think people liked it. I mean, I get it. It's always going to be a surprise, though. No one was ever going to think it was going to end. But
I mean, that's tough. Like I compare it to like the series finale of a show.
Yes,
There's no way that there's unless you really nail it, which is so hard to do. Like,
yep,
it's so rare that you just absolutely like please everybody, man.
I agree. Yeah,
that is such a great analogy, Sam. Because if you look at the WWE from WrestleMania to WrestleMania as a season, of a television show, like it kind of puts things in perspective. And the cool thing about WWE is you can track it by quarter because of the 4
Yep.
big main pay-per-views.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
So you can
Yeah.
go, you have that route to go. You go from WrestleMania to SummerSlam to Survivor Series, Rumble to
Yep.
Mania again, you know.
But it is yeah. And there are times when the buildup isn't there for something, right? You know, or sometimes they build something up and they don't do it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This would have been a great time to do that. No, we're not doing it now.
Now, something that was quietly spoken about right during the WrestleMania press conferences is there's a draft coming back.
Yes, there is. Yep, they're doing the draft
It's
again.
supposed to be at the end of this month, so that means that
Mhm.
this could be the first draft of Triple H's era.
Right.
So this should be interesting, and I'm liking who he has set up and where they're going so far.
Well, my son was cracking me up because he was asking me about are they doing? He goes, are they doing a draft again? I said, yeah, it's must be happening. He goes, I don't know why they bother. I said, what do you mean? He goes, dude, these guys go wherever they want to go anyway. He said, they show up on everyone shows up on the other. He goes, who cares?
Yeah.
I think it's meant to be where they're supposed to be on this show, but they're allowed to come over here so many times or whatever. So, and he's like, that's just confusing. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
a little silly. It's a little silly. I mean,
forced for a month or two until everybody starts crossing the streams. And
pretty much.
And then in Survivor Series, they need the Team Raw versus SmackDown match this year, I guess.
Yep. Maybe they'll let NXT compete in it. They're like, no, we'll just give NXT their own Survivor Series.
That would actually kind of be cool to have like a 3-way Survivor Series fucking tag match.
I think it would be too. It'd be pretty badass.
Sam, do you know what Survivor Series, like what the traditional Survivor Series match was?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
They would have like a team of like 4 or 5 guys.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like they would be eliminated. So the last one standing was the winner of Survivor Series, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes they would have it where a team would get eliminated. They'd have like 3 or 4 members of the other team left, you know?
Yeah.
On occasion, they would
oh man, like those early Survivor Series, like Hogan fucking, hulked out on one of them, Warrior fucking, one going through like a whole team and shit.
Yep.
Rocky Maivia. Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. They did it at least once before.
Yeah, they did. They did do it once.
See,
I thought they did do it once before, but I'd like to see them do it again because I like NXT being involved occasionally and stuff like that. It's just so people remember, hey, they're still around. I
don't know. They're doing okay, right?
Yeah, they're doing all right. It's my favorite. I like watching NXT over both Raw and SmackDown, but they did something pretty cool on Monday night. They brought the new NXT Women's Champion. She had a match, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course they brought out who else they had? They had somebody else from NXT out on Monday night too. Come out and have a match. So it was pretty neat. They brought a couple of them up just to have a match. Braun Breaker is going to be coming up now because they dropped the tag team titles finally down there. So he's back. I think he was on last night. He might have been on SmackDown last night. I'm not sure. I didn't see it all either. I think Anna said that she watched it and she said she saw him. She said she thought she saw him on there, and I was like, oh, well, makes sense. Yeah, Braun Breaker is the son of a guy. You ever hear ever heard of Rick Steiner, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, he's Rick Steiner's son, Scott, Big Papa Pump's nephew.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty good fucking wrestler. He's got a really got a chance to be pretty goddamn awesome
with that father and uncle team. Can't be anything but
right. You almost feel like he was, I don't know, like groomed, to be but
in a way.
But it was good. It was good. I mean, they good for a follow up.
Yeah. What about the other wrestling big bomb from this week? And I think probably the more controversial thing than WrestleMania, the dropping of the CM Punk footage by AEW.
I saw that.
That locker room.
It was where they dropped the footage of the fight Yeah. Those idiots. The two more, what are they called? The brothers. Can't remember their fucking name. The damn tag team. The Young Bucks. Thank you. I can't remember. Their stupid name would not come to my mind. They're in like this weird position in AEW, right, where they're supposed to be like Tony Khan's assistants or whatever. His little the executive vice presidents or something like that, and so they show some footage, and it was that footage. I'm like, are you fucking dumb? That shit was old too, man. Yeah. But it was funny that they added it.
Right. There's a couple points here, especially in the chat, that I want to hit. I'm in the minority of people that think that this makes Punk look worse. Because, yes, it did happen exactly how he said, okay? But there's a couple of things about this. And we were talking about it in our chat, one of our chats. Because mine is a big CM Punk fan, too.
Yeah.
Like the only one I know.
No, a bunch of people are CM Punk fans, and with this the way this footage came out, there's a lot more. Jack Perry is significantly smaller than CM Punk.
Yes, he is. Yep. Yeah.
CM Punk was also in a position of power over Jack Perry at that time. He was an executive producer on that show.
I didn't know that he was.
He was Jack. And he was Jack Perry's boss. I'm not sure if it was an executive, because people are going to nitpick this, but I'm not sure if it was an MVP role. But he was sending people home from that show.
Oh no shit! Wow. Okay.
Yes, and that's been documented. You can look it up for yourselves.
Okay.
So there's that. Then, even if Jack Perry told him to do something about it, Punk waited till the kid had his hands on his head like this to fucking make a move. That's some punk ass shit to me.
Why is that punk ass shit?
What? He waited until he had his hands up and wasn't.
Hold up. Well, no, hold on. If you go, whoa, we disagree on this one.
Yeah, because you agree with a sucker punch. That's why.
No. When you go up, yes, I do. But
yeah, exactly. And he was a sucker punching bitch too.
But I would argue
he threw a sucker on the breakup.
But hold up, you say something to someone like, do something about it, and then you put your hands behind your head. You're a fucking idiot. If you're dumb enough to basically tell someone, go on, throw a punch at me, go ahead, I dare you, and I want to put my hands behind my head, and they do it, and they punch you in the face, that's on you. You got punched in the face.
That is true.
I mean, I know what you mean.
But like watching it, what happened was that when the physicality started, Punk pushed him.
Yeah, that's true. I saw that. Yeah,
Gary went back and was trying to get away from the situation. Punk pursued him and pushed him again, tried to get him in a tie plum, and tried to hook him in a fucking front face.
Yeah. We also don't know either. We don't know everything he said to CM Punk either. We don't know everything that was said.
And then it got broken up by Samoa Joe and who else?
Right.
I forget who else was back there.
Yeah, Samoa Joe was.
While they were breaking it up, Punk threw a punch at Perry.
Yeah, that was.
He definitely told the truth, because I want to get to that point.
Yeah, he did. No, he didn't.
No, he definitely told the truth, but I don't think that makes him look better in any way.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's good that he didn't lie. I mean, but that's about all. I mean,
but CM Punk at this point. I was a huge Punk fan for so long.
I'm not I just think he's controversial because of for the wrong reasons. That's my problem with him. But I don't. But when it comes to that kind of shit, though, I don't necessarily, because again, we don't know what Perry said to him either. We don't know what words were spoken. What if he insulted his wife? What if he insulted? Who knows, dude? Now that mother said something about my wife, I'd beat his fucking little bony ass. You know, you going. So I mean, maybe that we don't know. We don't know what provoked him. I know CM Punk came after him hardcore though.
Why I have such a fucking bad taste in my mouth after watching that shit.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because there's a good chance that CM Punk probably did provoke him a little bit though, too.
Well, yeah.
There's a good chance of that. There's a good chance he started. We don't know what CM Punk said either. To start because obviously at first it started as a verbal back and forth, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously. So we don't know, and I guess. But I'm gonna stick by what I said. If you jump like lunge at someone or something, or tell someone to do something about it or whatever, and because it looked like you could tell by his mouth, it looked like he said something like that. I don't know if it was exactly those words.
That's what Punk said. He said.
Okay, so then maybe he did. And if that's true, and he said that, and then put his hands behind his head, then you know what? Fuck you. You get knocked out. You get knocked out. That's on you.
Well, he didn't get knocked out.
No, he didn't. He
didn't get choked out either.
No, he didn't get choked out. No, so I mean, it was just
one of the weakest fucking guillotine attempts I've ever seen in my life.
To me, it was a stupid little skirmish. It got broke up before anyone really got hurt. It was two guys that got in, it got heated. It was no big deal, man. It happens. I think more of it was made of it than it should have been.
I mean, the favorite thing that I tweeted during that thing was, okay, so I guess Punk's 1-5 now in backstage fights.
Yeah, well, it kind of makes you wonder. Maybe he going to go about a different way of doing things. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, it goes along with this.
I know he's gotten tuned up quite a few times, but the one I think is the funniest. I guess Teddy Hart knocked his ass out at a Waffle House.
At a Waffle House.
I've heard of some cases. I've heard
been knocked out at a Waffle House.
Yeah, I know, right? That's like an everyday thing. I mean, everyone experiences that every once in their life. Yeah. I mean, shit. I know. I didn't get knocked out in the Waffle House, but I mean, I did get into a fight in the parking lot. So it's a little different. I mean, it's not quite in the. It's not quite in the Waffle House. That one off
for Russ's redneck bingo fighting the Waffle House parking lot.
I mean, it's not like I was Tony how Tony Romo treated what's her name, Simpson, Jessica Simpson. He just dumped her ass and left her in the Waffle House.
Oh, you left her there? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, she had to call her sister to come get her.
Ashley?
Yeah, the lip syncer.
Why do I remember that?
Yeah, that's the one. The lip syncer. You're right. That's the one.
Lip syncing live on
Saturday SNL.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It says Jessica had to call her up to come get her.
2009, man.
Yeah, that's her and Tony Romo got into it, and she slapped Tony Romo, and Tony apparently pushed her, and she fell down, and then Tony just got in his car and left her.
Fuck yeah, I'd leave it.
That is funny. I was like,
when it gets the violence, man, you got to get the fuck out,
dude, man. Yeah, because you're gonna end up on the wrong end of it and everything, man. That's right, buddy.
My fight at Waffle House was because I said something dirty to a dude's girl, and he got mad and a little foul about it. But
Nick, I mean, he didn't mention this was last Friday.
Yeah,
3 a.m.
That's why we didn't have
3 a.m.
last week. It had nothing to do with WrestleMania. It was Russ recuperating from the Waffle House fight.
I punched all in the face, and
I was like, "Oh, that's always WrestleMania weekend where everyone's playing low."
But just to rein it in a little, Tony
Khan too funny.
Dragged all over the internet for doing this.
For the footage being dropped. Well, it is kind of a lame move.
Yeah, and in combination with that, they had Will Ospreay drop a promo where he buried Triple H, and neither him nor the Bucks originated these ideas. And neither one of them were happy to do this. This is a Tony Khan special.
Well, I would tell you what, it's funny. It's almost like Khan is trying desperately to because he he knows what a big weekend it was last weekend. He knows how huge it is for that for the WWE. And it's like he's doing everything he can to jump on some of that publicity himself, get some of the attention himself,
which is smart.
I get it, but it's a terrible way to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. In the long run, Triple H gives two squirts of piss for Tony Khan. He probably barely even knows the fucker exists. He's like, yeah, that's the guy that runs the other company. He's the rich son of a rich, of a really wealthy man, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's.
I think this is going to take wrestling a little longer than I wanted it to go, but I really think that AEW needs to scale back their operations.
Why's that?
Because they're doing too much too quick, and they haven't filled out. Like, basically what I mean is they don't have the infrastructure for how fast they're trying to grow. And they also don't have the installed fan base, because if you look at their attendance numbers and how they have to move people around the arena to make it look full, so that people are on the hard side.
That's why they darken out the dark. If you look at it, they darken out the back, some of the back rows a lot, so you can't see how much. Yeah, you don't know how full it is. Yeah, exactly. So
that sucks.
Well, you got to keep in mind it is two companies though. He bought Ring of Honor. Yeah. So they are, and it is two companies together.
But here's the thing too. Do you know how old AEW is?
Yeah, it can't be much more than 5-6 years old.
They're turning 5 this year.
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere around that, because
what they've tried to do is very ambitious with with having partnerships with New Japan, Impact, that whole deal, having a deal with Warner Brothers and their first, for TV and shit. Now they're actually coming out of their, basically they had a negotiating period where only Warner Brothers could negotiate with them. They're coming out of that now, so that they may be on other TV if they get a better deal than what they're getting for TNT and TBS.
It could happen. I can see it. I think I know what you're saying, and I kind of agree with that. I think they are. I mean, they're running also three programs. Like they've got one on Wednesday, one on Friday, and they got one on Saturday.
They're running 4 because then they have the Ring of Honor shit on.
That's right. I forgot about the Ring of Honor. You're right. There's the Ring of Honor, so they're running 4. So they got
they're producing more hours in a week of wrestling than the WWE is.
They are, but but it's like they're not having the success rate that WWE is, and it's kind of weird, But I almost feel like he's trying to be a competitor to the WWE before he's big enough to really be a competitor. You know what I mean? He's trying to, and I don't know why he's doing it, because I wouldn't try to do that. Just build your company up, put on a good product. Don't worry about them. Just do your thing.
Go ahead, Sam.
But I'm sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
I know I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, all right. Then I'll interrupt, motherfucker. I was saying that like I told you guys, I watched the Kevin Nash podcast, and they got a Discord.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about all this shit in there too. And like what I said there was that, like, I don't think it's fair. Even Tony Khan is putting AEW in an unfair position because they're trying to say that they're competing with the WWE when they can't.
They can't.
I said that it's more, if you look at AEW, they're more comparable in structure to TNA and GCW. And MLW.
Probably
those types of companies.
I mean, they're probably bigger than those companies, but only because they have the cash behind them. Well, those companies probably don't have necessarily. But
But like
I mean,
that's also like the double curse of like how Tony Khan's running operations, because he has said that he's competing with WWE, which means that
Right.
he's put AEW at a level where
Agreed.
the perception is that they're better than TNA, GCW, MLW.
When really they're about the
You know what I
same.
mean?
Global
Because he's
yeah.
right, because he's leveraged that position.
Yeah.
So it puts it, you know, it has positives and it has huge negatives.
Agreed. Yeah, he's trying to be a heavyweight when he's really like a middleweight.
Yeah. He's BJ penning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's funny.
Going on tonight actually is UFC 300 too.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It was on.
I'm excited for this first fight, which is they're in the middle of it right now, but Bo Nichols fighting. I don't know who the dude is, but he was a stud at Penn State kind of recently.
Are they supposed to have a female fight tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, one of the title fights.
I thought so.
Is Holly Holm fighting tonight?
Is Holly Holm?
She already fought. She lost
okay.
to Kayla Harrison, who was in PFL, but who's this fucking monster and
no shit. Okay.
And like kind of like long time coming to see when she's gonna be in the UFC, but she came in, beat the shit out of Holly Holm, and looked really good doing it.
Oh man, that's sitting. Yeah. Wow, not bad. I you know what I do love about that sport. I ain't gonna lie to you, I love it a lot because it's hard to stay dominant in that sport for a while. It's hard. You gotta. I mean, you've had a few stay around for a while, but man, when that next generation's coming up,
you had for a certain time when it became like really popular.
Yeah,
that was just the case with all the champs of like everyone.
Right.
They were
Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre mostly.
Yeah,
like, just around for forever. So I feel like people thought that was like the norm.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say, is that they were so lucky to have they had so many generational talents.
Yeah, and like that was like coming into John Jones being really good, and
but I like it. I like it better now, man.
There used to be a competitor to UFC called Pride. You know,
I remember Pride. I remember Pride.
There was such talent that there was a question at one time whether Pride was better than
that was in like up to 2007, I think, and then when I think that was when UFC bought Pride was 2007, 2008, and then
time is the fighter.
But like, a lot of them stayed away for a while, and it was a while till they got them like into it, and only a few of them stayed good in the UFC, and so many of them took a long time. Like Shogun came in the UFC and lost to, I think Forrest Griffin was his first fight and lost, looked like shit, and there's like a couple guys like that. Like
there were so many bangers at that time.
Yeah, and like they had to like get used to fighting without steroids or I don't know what it was, but
Pride never tested.
No, I think
that's right. That's because wasn't Chris Cyborg fighting for Pride?
Yeah.
And then I remember the big thing is everyone wanted her to fight Ronda Rousey.
Well, no, she was in Strike Force.
Oh, she was in Strike Force. Did she ever fight Pride?
Cyborg was in Pride.
She fought Ronda Rousey, I think. And wait, no,
she didn't fight Ronda.
No, she never fought Ronda Rousey.
She fought Gina.
Yeah, she Ronda. Yeah,
she beat the fuck out of Gina.
But everyone wanted to see Cyborg and Ronda Rousey there for a long time, and it never happened. And I remember, but
Cyborg is bigger than Ronda, and Ronda was like, "Yo, fuck that! I'm not fighting."
Yeah. Well, I think Ronda. Ronda. What she wanted to say was, "That's a roid head. I'm not fighting her."
Yeah, man.
That dude, that chick looked like a man, dude. That was a manly chick.
It over there. I mean, like, Alistair Overeem fought at 205 in Pride and was like a long, lanky dude, and then he
Did he fight Odell in Pride?
Yeah, he then like good fights and everything, and then he went to it was what was the thing over there? It was
Elite XD.
No, it was another Japanese one. Dream,
okay.
Dream, that was it. And then that was only around for a little bit, but he went to that, and that's when he started fighting at heavyweight and was just like fucking huge. Instead, he just like ate horse meat.
Ubereem.
Yeah. He's like, I
swear
ate
I felt
horse meat and got really big. Like, oh, okay.
It did feel like there were quite a few little promotions around for a minute.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It did.
Because like there was a point where like you could have like a MMA pay-per-view like every week of the month, and it would be a banger.
It was almost in a way more fun
because
back then.
Affliction.
Mm-hmm.
Affliction, like they put some really good cards together, man. Like remember what's his face? Andre Arlovsky fought Fedor over there, and that was like a really good fight. Like almost beat him for a minute, and then Fedor won. But like those, it's like there's all these random cards of like they're just pulling people in from here and there. You know,
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And then, dude, Strikeforce put on some bangers too.
Yeah, Strikeforce, they came here to St. Louis a few times. Like I got to see Alistair Overeem. I forgot who he fought, but
Bigfoot.
Yeah, like I saw that. Like that was here, and
nice.
They had some good cards. Like Dan Henderson was their champ for a minute. Fedor was there for a while. That's like where like Dan Cormier like came from Strikeforce.
Yeah.
Like, that was like his first thing, and then he came to the UFC and did really well. Like, yeah, there was like a heyday, man. I feel like
Dan Henderson knocked somebody's fucking ass out in Strikeforce, and it was brutal. I forget who it was.
Renato Babalu Sobral.
That's right.
And that was like a mismatch. Like if you like knew it, but like it was Dan Henderson coming from Pride, and like Babalu
was coming off that fucking disqualification in the UFC.
Yeah, wasn't Dan Henderson like a huge fucker though? Wasn't he? It's pretty small.
He was just scary, man.
I thought he was. Yeah, I remember that guy.
He wasn't that huge.
He looked big to me, man. I don't know. Maybe
he fought in middleweight and light heavyweight. So like,
yeah.
So maybe he wasn't as big as I.
Like middleweight in Pride was 205, which middleweight in UFC is 185. So like,
right. Well, maybe that's why.
Silva in Pride at 205.
Yeah.
So like he was like giving up in fights like that, but then like he went to. I thought in the UFC he was always better at 205.
Yeah.
He almost beat I forgot. I don't know if he got a title fight at 205, but he got a title fight at 185. Lost to Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Got choked out. Looked really bad. But yeah, I mean, like he ended up like he fought Fedor. I think he might have won.
I think he knocked Fedor out.
Yeah, like he's
a
dude, man.
I like watching little skinny fuckers, man. That are like little. I swear they're so much fun to watch because when they do grapple, it's like they're like trying to.
I used to like that creepy dude from fucking Massachusetts. That was his name. It was Joe Creepy something.
There's a guy like
Creepy.
I'm trying to think, man.
I'm trying to. There's so many names, dude. There was so many good names.
Joe
guys
Lozon. Joe Creepy Lozon.
He was a decent college wrestler.
Yo, I used to watch that dude because he had a fucking engine, and every fight that dude was in was a fucking.
There was that was that season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter, man. You got like Manny Gamburian, Nick Diaz came out of there. Joe Lozon, that there's Cole something.
Yeah,
really tall, lanky dude. Like they're like, dude, those seasons, and maybe it's not just because I don't pay as much attention, but I feel like those older seasons, like there'd be one every now and then. You're like, man, that season put out like 10 dudes, like who were like just went on to be studs and champs and stuff. And that was one of them. Season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter, man, that was really good. That was when Jens Pulver and BJ Penn were the coaches. And they were bringing back lightweight. He doesn't have lightweight for a few years, man. And
fucking BJ got his fucking revenge on that shit.
Oh my god, dude, he was like a fucking killer for a few years, man. That was like the peak of my life, man. I was like, fucking BJ Penn's out here winning. Like this is as good as it
BJ Penn is one of my top 5 fighters of all time. I love that dude. I don't care about his record.
He might be my favorite, man. Dude. He might be my favorite, and because like that was like at that time he was like actually training and like pushing himself. And he beat Joe Stevenson, who came from season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter. Funny enough, he beat Jens Pulver to come back, beat Joe Stevenson for a title, beat Kenny Florian, beat Sean Shirk, I think.
Yeah.
And was just looked in shape and was just just on a different level, man. Like
he won the second Matt Hughes fight too during that time, right?
Yeah,
he went back up. He went back up to welterweight.
Yeah, he beat him again. Yeah,
and then BJ Penn, the fucking St. Pierre,
and then he lost it. He ended up losing to Frankie Edgar, and then that was passing of the torch in that little era. But yeah, that was like peak BJ Penn. That was like just the most fucking pumped up I ever was, like as a UFC fan, like or as a fight fan,
the one fighter that I like over, and again, obviously these aren't the best fighters of all time or anything, but like the dude I used to love to watch was Jeff the Snowman Munson.
Jeff Monson, yeah, he would come out to like
Dream John and Lennon. Imagine.
Yeah. He was
because he's a fucking communist.
Yeah, it's like that's like a fucking hammer and sickle. I remember. I was like, "What is this?"
God, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he choked that dude Brandon Lee Hinckley until he started frothing.
Yeah, I remember, and that was like a clip for a while.
Yeah, and like they scrubbed it from the internet for a while. You couldn't find it.
Oh yeah, they're like he might be dead, but
and then like fucking he fought fucking Tim Sylvia, and that was basically the end. He did get a fight with Fedor.
Yeah, just a boring fight, man. And that was like Tim Sylvia at the time, and and then I don't know what happened. He bounced. He went out of the UFC, and I mean at that time, like if you're like an ex-UFC guy, everybody was trying to scoop you up, you know.
Yeah, true. Well, because you had guys that were trying to fight to get to the UFC, and then
right?
He did.
Yeah.
And it was the thing like where it's like, you know, Jeff Monson on a UFC card. You're like, okay, cool.
Right.
But then like you see him he's on a Strike Force card, an Elite XC or whatever, and then it's like seems like it's a bigger deal because you just know so much fewer of those names and like I feel like that's still a thing today to a certain extent with Bellator. Like I feel like they're still kind of eager to scoop up some UFC guys, but they have their own stock, and I'm glad that they've kind of made independent and everything.
I like that. Was Israel Adesanya? Is that you say his name? Mm-hmm. He's that dude. I haven't seen him get his ass whipped too before, but I mean, there's times when I see him fighting, I'm like, oh my god, how did he do that? Yeah,
he got beat, and then the guy that beat him got beat. He got beat by and then
that's right, he did. Yep, he did. That's why I saw that. I saw he lost that.
Alex Pereira, he's the one he fights tonight is the main event, so that'll be fun to see.
Shit. Yeah, he was. I mean, he's still. I don't know. He's still a great fighter. I think I showed my son the fight where he lost, and my son was like, "Well, he lost." And I said, "Dude, all these motherfuckers are gonna lose eventually, dude."
I got a question for you on this topic.
Yeah.
And then we'll move along to something else real quick.
Yeah.
If you were trying to get somebody into MMA, what one fight would you show them?
Forrest Griffin versus Stephan Bonner. Because I think that's what got I'd been watching this shit because of my dad and my brothers since 1993. So like I was in it, but I feel like that fight, because it was just on TV, so many people got to see it, and like those two just tried to tear each other's heads off. I think that like did so much for the sport. Because I remember like it was like I was in high school at the time, and like we were at a party, and like people were calling me like, "Yo, like, have you ever seen this UFC shit?" I'm like, "Yes, man!" Like, and I was like, it was like that. That's what it was. Like, it was like it just happened to be like everybody was experiencing this thing at the same time, and I don't know, maybe it matters more because of history, but just like this is what this shit is.
It is the start of modern MMA.
Yeah, but if not that, you know, if you're like, okay, I don't know, a close second would be Mauricio Shogun Hua and Little Nogueira from Pride.
Nice.
Because same thing, those two just tried to kill each other. and it was
went after each other hard, huh?
Do you have one, Russ?
I can't. I'm trying to think of one that sticks out to me.
You gotta be so in it, man. It's tough.
Yeah,
I mean, I've just recently over the past couple of years gotten back into it. Yeah, it was a women's fight that I liked, and
Dude,
I'm
yeah,
trying
I
to
mean,
remember
if
their
you're talking
names.
about that, I'd say watch
The
Ronda
women
Rousey,
are
Amanda Nunez, man.
well.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. That was good.
Like just to see someone get their
Yeah,
bros, man.
but there was one. I just can't remember. I just can't remember the name of all the fucking women I watched.
Yeah, listen to this.
God, it's too many women,
All these
dude.
women.
Too many women, man.
Women.
But
Ew.
He's gonna be
I don't know.
fighting over them at Waffle House.
I love me some fighting, some scrapping with some women in the Waffle House. Oh man, it's I do like to watch the female fights because I think the women are fucking.
No, they're getting better too.
They are getting better. They're way better than I remember the first time I saw women fight.
Like they're like a step below the men or
No,
whatever.
no. But
there was a time where there was a
yes
huge disparity.
Yes.
Between like the top tier talent and everybody else, and
yeah,
you have girls getting the shit kicked out of them.
The best analogy I can think of real quick is like how it used to be in men's college basketball. Like the women's game used to be so much more fundamental than the men's game.
Yes.
And that's what MMA is. You should be fundamentally sound women just going to town and fucking wailing on each other.
I've seen some men, some male fights with men in MMA where they're just striking, right? And then you might see somebody get knocked the fuck out. It can happen with women. I feel like there's a better chance of a woman knocking another woman out with her feet. Yeah. Like throwing a kick, a straight kick, wham upside the head of the other woman, crashes down like and I know men have done it too, but god damn,
a lot of like female wrestlers that are coming in now.
Yeah,
that are really good. So I feel like that's things and then you have someone like I mentioned her already, but like Amanda Nunez, and there was a time where you could watch fights and be like, okay, like they look like women fighting, and it's like
yes.
I don't mean to sound any kind of way, but like
I know what you mean.
Interested in reality, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Amanda Nunez just like fights like a fucking dude, man. Like,
well, dude, she's
fucking like whips every punch, man, and
she's savage as shit, dude. Yeah, she's very savage, and
absolute savage, man.
When you see her go at it, she really throws her body.
That's one of those things where
like MMA now, Scott.
Yeah. But like that's one of those things where like seeing her do that.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gonna jump a level because of that, right? So
I think so.
It happens, I think, with every sport where it's like, okay, girls coming up now being like, oh, so like that's the example. Like the shit she does, like it's not even, and it's definitely skill based, but in a way it isn't, because like you can just make a choice. It's like throw your hips a little bit harder with every punch you throw in, and getting that fucking almost like wrestling stance like Mike Tyson whenever you throw punches and shit, and get your head off the center line when you do. And it's like those examples like that like raises everybody up a little bit. It's like the high tide raises all ships, and
I just think the women have improved and their grappling and Matt fighting, because I feel like
it's like that's what Ronda Rousey was. And I feel and like Holly Holm, I think, was one of the better ones to be better on her feet.
Yeah.
And then you have Amanda Nunez, who's like just on a whole different level, above that. And
that was always the challenge of Ronda, I think, finally went better fate.
Terrible.
Because Ronda would try to fight a striker. You just knew she was going to get her ass beat, but she tries throwing that judo in, and she gets a hold of you.
All-time great,
But Royce Gracie was amazing.
Yeah. My two fights to get anybody into MMA are fucking Don Fry versus what's his name, Fujita.
Koja Saku. I forget, man. It
was Fujita.
That's it.
I think it was Fujita. And then I just forgot. Oh, Royce Gracie and Chemo.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that. I remember that fight.
Who I think he's dead, isn't he?
Did he die?
No, he might be alive, but he got arrested with like he had crack on him. And
Oh no!
It was meth
windbreaker.
because it was
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible,
he
man.
had like a windbreaker on, man.
For former fighter,
still,
man.
Yeah, he's still kicking.
Yeah, is he? I know he's not fighting anymore, is he? Unless he's doing underground shit or whatever.
It's funny, man, because you mentioned chemo. He was in the worst fight I've ever seen.
Which really?
He fought Dan Severn in Pride.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to,
I never saw that.
Be miserable. Watch that fight. It's awful, man.
I didn't even know him and Dan Severn ever fought. That's crazy.
Yeah. Both at their absolute lows of their career. And
I can imagine.
They just stood in front of each other and did this for 25 minutes.
Oh God, that's
sometime we should do like a history of Pancrase.
Dude, I'd love
because that was the craziest shit ever. Everybody else,
Frank Shamrock.
Everybody else in that promotion besides Boss Rutan knew it was a work.
Yeah, I know.
And then Boss Rutan comes in, starts knocking people out with
I know. We're doing this for real this time.
Yo, he's like, boss, you can't hit anybody with a close fist. He's like, okay, I'm Dutch. I'm gonna fucking knock these fuckers out with palm strikes.
It's fucking funny, man.
Oh God. Boss Rutan also has one of the funniest videos ever on the internet. The Boss Rutan self-defense technique shit.
Yeah, those are so good, man.
Dang it.
Yeah, and they're like in restaurants and like he's like grabbing like knives off the wall.
Wonderful.
Into imaginary foes and everything.
Oh God.
Yo, did you two watch fucking X-Men this week?
Man, so I haven't watched any of it. And
I have not seen the new. I haven't.
I want to watch it. And
are they up to episode 5 now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen episode 5 yet. I saw episode 4 and not episode 5.
Oh God damn it!
I gotta get caught. I gotta catch it.
Yeah, same. And
I'm sorry.
Normally, I am like the.
No, yeah, I've been trying to be.
I actually do plan on watching it. I feel. Bad.
I've been trying to be Johnny on the spot on it. It's just this week. I haven't been watching. I'm behind on a lot of programs this week. I know I missed Survivor, newest episode of Survivor. I got to catch that. I got to catch. I started trying to watch the new what's it, Fallout live action, the Fallout TV show that they did. Yeah, I got up to episode 2, and I haven't been able to watch any more of it. So I'm trying to. I like it so far. It's not bad, but it's
that's what I heard. I heard it's pretty good.
Well, Fallout's a retarded game, so it is. And the TV show is kind of like doing a good job of showing just how retarded the game is. So I mean, if the world is like that after the Fallout, well, fuck, we might as well just kiss our asses goodbye. We're in deep trouble. Yeah.
Everybody tells me that I would love those games. I've just never played them.
I don't know, man. It's like it's tough because I like I have a hard time getting into stuff that's so highly recommended.
Yeah, I know.
I can't enjoy it. There's no way I can enjoy it as much as
I know. It does have some good. It's good story. It's a good story game though. And it's if you're into post-apocalyptic shit like I am, I'm very much into that stuff. That's Fallout's pretty good. I mean, even though it's kind of like it's got some dumb shit in it, but it's but I think that's just to lighten it up a little bit. I mean, it's supposed to. If not, it'll just be very depressing. Yeah.
I'm a little stoned, but I had a topic that I thought we could go in on.
Yeah, man.
What you about?
Related to comics that we could probably go on for like till the end of the show. Since they've come out until this month, the Skydance Transformers and G.I. Joe books were outselling everything that Marvel and DC were doing.
Oh, nice, man. That's so
What?
that's it's an imprint, right?
Yeah.
Of
Well, it's Robert Kirk. It's not
yeah,
even.
right.
It's
Yeah,
an image imprint. It's like it's fucking.
yeah. So they did obviously like The Walking Dead, right?
Mhm.
And then I think
Walking Dead,
I'm
Invincible.
looking back. I think they did
Yeah.
Marvel's on. Well, Kirkman, is Marvel
yeah.
Zombies.
Right.
All that shit.
There's some other Manifest Destiny, I think,
Yeah.
was under Skydance. It was a Rick Remender book from
Mhm.
probably 10 years ago now. Fuck, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Manifest Destiny. I don't think that's one I haven't heard of.
It was a quick little thing, but it was good.
Okay.
So I bring that part up because I think that it shows that the nostalgia for those projects, when they're done right, people will come out and support them, and probably mostly from our generation.
I know, man. I was thinking about that too because I saw like a couple people post links of like it's confirmed that there's going to be like a GI Joe Transformers crossover movie. Yeah, and like
really?
my like first instinct of that is like maybe just make one good movie of either franchise.
Yeah.
Not to say that there hasn't been that, but like I feel like if you're asking me, which is I don't know, I'm a person on the show.
That is so funny.
That the
no, do your thing.
It's the best of the Transformers movies, and I've seen the first two GI Joe movies. I think they're both so goofy, and it's like that's like where I come from. Is like, well, like do one right.
Okay, let me hit.
Let me like finish this point.
Go ahead.
On another topic. So
okay.
This because basically I'm talking about like generational purchase power. Because the thing that beat this was Ultimate X-Men 2 by Peach Momoko.
Huh.
Peach Momoko is writing and painting the series, and she's basically the X-Men as anime.
Oh, that's cool.
And people are freaking out on the internet with what she's doing. This isn't the X-Men, blah 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 blah.
That's so silly because that's what comics are constantly doing, man. They're and I felt like that type of attitude didn't kind of like taint comics, because that's like what comics have always been, is like different creative teams.
Yeah.
Tackling if you don't like that certain thing, just take a break for 6 months or however long it is, and then come back to it. Yeah, it's strange, man.
But like this is because I don't think it's our generation buying this.
Yeah,
I've read and looked at it, and
the X-Men thing or the
Ultimate X-Men.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, and it's funny because I almost brought this up talking about the wrestling thing. Is like when you lean, like if they're leaning so heavily, like for the GI Joe and Transformer stuff on us, that well eventually runs out.
Yeah,
true.
That is a finite source to draw from. Where if you're not bringing new people in, and it's like I don't know, you could say maybe it's our kids. I don't know, maybe. My kids are into what they're into, and
right.
Like they like right now, if I'm bringing home like classified figures and giving them to them, which I do, like they're into that shit, but they don't know the lore. I don't even know where to start them. All these things. So, I feel like that's like a problem. Like you have to find a way to constantly be bringing like younger people into it, like what you have to do. But then at the same hand is there are people our age who might see that product that's meant to draw new fans in and say, well, fuck this isn't what I want, or this is different than I understand it, and like not recognizing that like not everything is for them, if that makes any sense. Like not everything, like and I'm not saying anyone in particular, like me as a 35-year-old, not every Transformers thing that comes out is targeted to me.
Yeah.
Right.
But like if it brings kids in, which is always like the strangest thing I would always hear, like, and I know you guys are a little bit older than me, but like guys your age talking shit about like Armada or Cybertron or whatever, and being like, just saying it's whatever. But like to me, I'm like, yeah, but that like made so many new Transformers fans.
Yeah, I mean that's my son's G1,
Yeah, but it's
that's like his generation one Transformers,
And
it's
like,
really hard not to shit on that for me, because like it is completely a different style than anything that what we got before in Transformers, and like it wasn't it maybe in the original language, which I've heard it's a lot better, but it's so fucking goofy.
No, for sure.
And so like I think I understand what you're saying, that like everything, no matter the quality of it, the next generation always shits on the last generation, on the their fucking entertainment, like our fucking parents with video games and shit,
yeah
comic books,
No, that's true. And I
on that series. But like, go ahead.
No, I think it's because sometimes we have a hard time with changes that are made from what we liked and we loved, and we'll see changes, and we're just not going to like those changes. I mean, we're not. I mean, we're and why would we? We liked how it was when it was made for us when we were younger. Armada and all them, I didn't like a lot of that shit.
I think that it does show that like we can be objective though, because the next two Transformers series that we got after that, our generation likes. Not animated, not so much as Prime, but they're both generally well regarded.
Prime was good. I liked Prime.
Yeah,
and I say
Prime
that I didn't watch. I watched like some of Armada. I don't think I watched either of the. There are three of them, right? There's
Armada,
Energon, and
Energon,
yeah,
Armada, and
I had older brothers, so like I would just watch the Transformers, like the '86 movie.
Yeah,
it's like that's like all I knew basically. And Armada was like, okay, cool. There's like these like characters who I know, some of them who I know are like on the shelves,
right?
So, like, going back to what you guys were talking about before, though, like Sam was saying, like they should get a good G.I. Joe or a good Transformers movie out before they do a crossover movie.
Yeah, and it seems like not hard to do.
I get
so much lore, man.
And I so agree with you on that. But I will say this about the G.I. Joe movies, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to defend them too hard, because I thought they were a little silly too. I did. But G.I. Joe was silly, if you think about it.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe comics were a little better, because they were not quite as silly. I mean, I think the comics had some hard shit in them sometimes, But the cartoon that was on there, I mean, it was, and most of the cartoons that they did, different versions of the Renegades, they were kind of silly. They were silly. The idea was silly. The characters were goofy and stuff. So I think when they did the movies, I think they had a chance to make it a little more serious, and I don't think they did a good enough job.
Yeah,
like it kind of came across serious, but not enough. I don't know.
From CinemaCon, we're hearing that what they've seen of Transformers 1 was supposed to have been really good.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So,
well, that sounds good. I mean,
that's positive news on that front. Now, the
definitely.
other thing that's positive news is when they're talking about doing, the G.I. Joe Transformers movie, they're talking about having it being produced by Skydance.
Huh. That's a way to go.
That means Robert Kirkman's crew,
right?
On it.
Okay.
Again, like we were talking about him earlier,
he
has that cachet from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you're talking about. I mean, he's definitely got the storytelling back. But I mean, because let me tell you about the Walking Dead comics, man. You think about it, those comics could have been as elementary as hell, but
Mhm.
he took a zombie comic basically and made it like really compelling storytelling. Man, you get into those comic books, you start liking those characters a lot. The TV show did the same thing. You start liking those characters, and man,
Mhm.
you know, it's almost hard to believe it was a show about a zombie apocalypse because like there's so much more going on, you know, and and it's actually got some good drama in it. It's got some good, you know, some seriousness to it. You know, it's legitly good
He's got to
storytelling.
have like leeway with whatever he does, just because
Yeah.
the successes he's had.
Right.
That and
Agreed.
Invincible also.
Yeah.
And that's another one that's a compelling story, you know, just like, God damn. I mean,
he's really talented and
yeah, he
he's
is.
a really good storyteller.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's like the whole Invincibles got me hooked because the whole dynamic between father and son, man. You know, it's a whole father son thing for me where
Mhm.
you know fathers look fathers to their sons are like, you know, they're like who they learn how to be men from, you know, and like when you have fathers that just don't do a good job, or they did do a good job, and then when the father fucks up and falls off that pedestal, their son has a hard time with it, you know, and it's just I'm like. My wife was asking me, she's, why are you watching that? Just it looks like old animation. And I'm like, forget that. This is great. You know?
we were talking about something about Warren Ellis last night, and like that was another, you know, guy who's shown that like he has commercial products in his mind that like go really well because, you know, he was the dude that came up with Red, you know,
Yeah.
Stormwatch. The Authority's going to
A
be
lot
a
of these
movie
indie
now.
things, man.
It's wild, dude.
And
That's
then,
so cool.
fuck, what was the other one? He was the head writer on Castlevania for Netflix.
Oh no shit. But
Yeah.
he worked on the first one?
I think both.
Both he worked on both? Oh man,
Yeah.
dude.
We were
Dude.
talking about him last night in the chat for some reason because he did some project recently. Trying to look up here real quick.
That's the new Castlevania.
Oh yeah,
one that they-
Transmetropolitan too.
Yeah, that's like where I knew him from.
Yeah,
Like,
Transmet, Planet Hellblazer.
as a young buck.
Next
He
Wave,
did
Next Wave, Thunderbolts. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam, with what you was getting.
No, I think he did that G.I. Joe thing.
That's what it was. G.I. Joe Resolute.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh, he did.
Yes.
Movie.
Oh no shit, he did that? All right, wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's
like,
exactly why we were talking about it. Thank you, Sam.
Okay.
It's funny because like you talked about like with UFC, like what fight do you show them or MMA, and it's like if someone's like, hey, I'm interested in GI Joe, that's what I'd show them because that shit's so good and so fun, and I always took that as like, I don't know, like the show to me is goofy, and it didn't hit. It was before my time, so it didn't hit me when it mattered. Like, but
What's
like that GI Joe Resolute, like is that shit like. Yeah, it's so good, and it's like speaks to you. Like my kids could watch it and appreciate it. I can watch it and appreciate it. Like it's just good stuff.
Yeah, that's also good storytelling, man.
Oh, man.
That's when you got it. You tell a good story. It makes the story. You can take something that is just been cheesy, and then you add a good story to it, and you'll forget about the cheese, man.
This is crazy for like what the top sellers are for this month. Like I was telling you, it's Ultimate X-Men number 2 is number 1. Transformers number 7 is number 2. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man at 3, Wolverine at 4, Hulk at 5, Resurrection of Magneto at 4,
Holy shit.
Action Comics 1064 for DC, X-Men 97 number 2 for Marvel, Rat City number 1 for Image, and Fantastic Four number 19 for Marvel. That means out of this week's fucking titles, 1, 2, 3, I guess, are out of the top 10 sellers are not from Marvel. And that's it.
Damn. Marvel fucking, it's impressive.
Yeah, what
Marvel's-
will happen when like the James Gunn stuff starts going and it's interesting, and or hopefully it's interesting, but
Yeah.
right where it's just like in the like the zeitgeist more, I guess.
Now, released this week from DC was Batman and Robin number 8, Batman Dylan Dog crossover number 2, Green Lantern number 10, and Suicide Squad Dream Team number 2. And none of those could break into that fucking,
Yeah.
Damn.
No, those are like top tier like titles you'd think, but
Yeah.
It's
That's
insane.
crazy, man. Well, tell you what, me and my son were earlier having a chat about, because we have you guys seen the trailer for the sequel to the new Joker movie?
Yeah.
Coming out. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I'm very much
whatever, man.
I'm intrigued by
like
it.
the first one.
Yeah. I love the first one, so I'm intrigued by it. Actually, if you didn't like it, I get it.
A certified hater of that franchise.
But we were talking
It's your
about
toy world.
Yeah,
and,
you're right.
and I told him, I said, you think it'll be good? I said, I think it'll be good as long as they make sure they contain that to being just a Joker movie. We're good, right? And he said, it's funny that they have trouble doing that with DC movies. You know, it's like kind of connecting them, because whenever they connect them, it starts getting all foul and messed up, right? And then I said, yeah, sure. And he goes, well, because then again, Marvel's been having problems with it lately too, haven't
It's funny, man. Like, I was like, listening to a thing, and they were saying that like the next Matt Reeves Batman, like the Batman 2,
yeah,
they were like all like probably like most likely gonna scrap it because of well like what James Gunn's doing and everything. And I'm like, God, that makes me so sad because like I love that first movie.
Well,
so
the
much.
Penguin's still coming out.
Yeah,
the Penguin one's coming out. Yeah.
Hope that they're gonna keep it moving, but
yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this on podcasts for as long as we've been doing this. Like, let those things exist. Let those side like
Elseworlds movies.
Yeah. This is a different version of this character. I think the audience is smart enough to figure it out.
You're talking about a sequel to the Pattinson Batman, right?
Yeah, Batman.
They're not gonna do that.
Well, it's like that. That's no, nothing's like confirmed or anything. But there was like a rumor I heard on a podcast. They're like we think they might just scrap it, because it's confusing or whatever. But I hope they don't.
I like that one. I really liked.
Yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of the.
I did too. It was the movie that was like. Maybe it's because I had low expectations of it. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
That was my movie of 2022. That was my movie of the year that year.
You remember that was the one where I shit all over the Batmobile, but then after I saw it in the movie, I was like, dude. "Oh, that car is badass, dude!"
Hard, man.
It was hard.
I was nasty to it. I was like, that fucking thing sucks. And after I saw the movie, I was like, "Oh, that's a cool car, man. I'm down with it now." Yeah. Changed my mind. he was really good in that movie. I mean, because it was kind of like a different.
It was that's like my whole thing. It was different.
Yeah, different. It's like a different vibe for Batman, and him as Bruce Wayne was kind of a different vibe, you know. And I don't know. I hope they make another one.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I can turn you guys on to something real quick. Hopefully, there's a new Batman series. Only 2 issues have come out right now, and it's a retelling of his origin.
No shit.
And, yeah, it's a. Let me get it here. It's called The Batman, and it's spelled the word "the" obviously, and then Bat-Man. First Night number. Okay, and it's. I don't know if this is a black label book or yes, it is. It's a black label book. That's why they get away with this crazy shit. But yo, it's I hear it when everyone says we don't want to go over Bruce Wayne's origins again. We don't want to see early, Batman, whatever. This shit is dope. Like it's like real grungy, like what you would think Gotham would be if it was real. Like it's beautiful. Man. The art is beautiful. It almost looks painted. I can't suggest this book more highly. I'll go ahead from the Russian site real quick and share the cover.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and the thing is when you look at it, it's the same for the interiors. Here, just real quick. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a top tier stuff.
Okay.
It's intriguing. I don't know.
Here's some Batman in an electric chair. Just a little spoiler for you.
Interesting. I'm telling you, I've never, I don't know. Does it bother you guys if they like? I'm not saying retell an origin story, but does it bother you if they change an origin story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like
it depends.
Well, if that's how it is, it depends on who it is.
There's like certain details that matter and some that don't. Like Batman's parents both need to die. I don't care if it's Zorro or whatever the fuck else. Like that to me doesn't matter, but.
Yeah, I agree with that because, his parents dying are the whole catalyst, man.
Yeah.
Without his parents' death, it's just you have to have that. You have to have it, and I don't think it can work with just one dying. Both of them have to die.
You know what's kind of funny? As I've gotten older, there's two different things, 2 different points here. I fucking empathize more with the Thomas Wayne origin of how he became Batman than Bruce's,
Right. Well, I never knew like the Thomas Wayne or I know that
in that Flashpoint storyline.
Right. Yeah.
Bruce
I don't remember.
Bruce was killed.
That really sucks. Okay. Yeah.
And so Martha became the Joker.
Oh my God.
Because she went crazy with grief.
Yeah.
And then Thomas Wayne became the old Batman who Scott Snyder used, to fucking be like, yo, I don't want my son to go through this shit. That shit was hard.
Tell me being double screwed on that. Your son, you lost your son, but then you got to battle against your wife, who's now the new, the like nastiest villain in the fucking world. Jesus Christ, dude. Wow. That's wild. Damn.
And that's what it's funny because like that Flash movie, that's what people were like, guys, people behind the studio were like, you remember that Flashpoint comic? This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And then we got what we got. Of a movie I've never seen, so I can't.
I haven't seen it yet either. I just can't bring myself to do it, man. It's like,
I
know I'm gonna hate it. It's just like Aquaman 2. I'm like, I'm not gonna see that shit either.
All right, I watched Aquaman 2, and I'm gonna tell you now. There's something crazy about that movie. All I can tell you is, you could tell they did the way they cut it. And I think, and I really do believe it was to take Amber Heard out of the movie as much as they could. I'm telling you, that's what I believe. But the way they cut it, they fucked things up. It's really weird.
She was trying to sue DC and Warner Brothers at one point because of how much they got her out of the movie.
Oh wow! Well, she got paid. She got paid though.
She got paid. She got paid for the role, but like the lawsuit got quashed.
It should have. I'm glad it did. That's good. Because they're allowed to cut whatever they want, man. Shit. Except they need to do a better job. That's all I can say. No. If you were to watch it, you will see what I'm saying. But if I were you, I wouldn't even worry about it.
Now, see, like the thing we were talking about James Gunn taking over.
Yeah.
Like the thing that worries me is that like all of the fucking Zack Snyder, DCEU shit was overcast, overproduced, and just everything thrown at the fucking wall to see what would stick, and nothing stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like with this Superman movie coming out that we might be getting the same shit again. Because
I know, man.
how many people are they going to put in this fucking movie?
Okay, so now this is the new Superman movie they're gonna
Right.
that they decided to do instead of the other one where they got rid of Cavill and they're
Yeah.
Bareback.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But yeah, like we're getting Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. We're getting an engineer. We're getting fucking a whole bunch of just shit. And then like they cast Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, which I think is a great move. I love Nicholas Hoult as an actor. He was great in The Menu. Fucking
what's good in The Menu? That's a fucking God, Nick. I didn't know you watched that movie. That's a really good fucking movie.
I
dude.
made you watch it so that we could
Oh
talk about it
yeah,
on the
that's
podcast.
right. It was you that got me to watch it. Now I just remembered. Yes, it was. You were the one that got me to watch. I'm trying to remember who fucking told me to watch it. It was you. Because I got Anna to watch it with me, and Anna loves that fucking movie too. She was like, "What the hell?" But yeah, that's goddamn. Sorry about that. I forgot you. I got you were the one that got me to do it. That's a good flick, though. It's good. And he's really good in it.
So yeah, he's the Lex Luthor, and
yeah, that's not bad.
I just don't like. They're throwing so much into the Superman movie, and they're taking it from two of my favorite Superman stories of all time: Superman for All Seasons and All Star Superman. You know, so
the issue with that is because they fired Cavill and they didn't go that and they decided to go a whole other way, a whole other direction, right? With it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if they understand that there's going to be this pressure. There's got to be a pressure on them to make a good fucking movie. Because I'm telling you now, fans were pissed about him being let go already.
Yeah.
And now you got fans saying, okay, well, whatever you're gonna do in place of it, it better be a damn good fucking movie. If it's not, you might just lost us. You might have just ruined it, ruined your fucking movie universe altogether. It's just done. I gotta believe people are gonna be hot if they don't do something good. I hope they don't fuck this up. I really do. I hope not, because I was one of them that was pissed off that they got rid of him because first of all, he didn't want to do the role again. They managed to get him back because they gave him they actually showed him a good script and he liked it and he thought, okay, you know what? All right, let's do it again.
Yeah.
And they got him to do it again. And then they fucking go, yeah, we don't need you. We're going to go in another direction.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
Who's he going to be in Marvel?
Are you talking about Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I've heard, I feel like I've heard Captain Britain, but I think that's not based on anything other than the fact that he's British. But I've also heard Cyclops, which I think would be really cool.
That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah.
I've heard Wolverine.
You think? Do you think he'd be a good Wolverine?
I think he looks like he's got the right build, but he's too tall, man. Like
he's very tall. You're gonna have
to. But we said that about Jackman too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
no, I still think that to today Jackman's too tall.
Yeah, I do too. But see, I don't know. I feel like there's things they can.
Yeah,
I like the Cyclops idea best
short Wolverine
out of those.
Like they have a chance to do it right, or in my opinion is right. But
I don't know. I feel like they can do shit with the camera to make him look shorter. So I don't know, but that's
if they do that, then that's awesome.
Yeah. He's a good actor. After I watched
I like him.
Ever since I saw him I've seen him in The Witcher now. Mm-hmm. He's fucking. He proved his acting chops to me now, much more than he did in a suit. I mean, I liked him as Superman, but just fine. But now I've seen him in the man. I love The Witcher, so I'm a big fan of that. So you playing Geralt it's a good character, and he did a good job playing that character. Yeah. I'm annoyed as shit that he's not going to be back playing it again. It pisses me off, but
he's doing his Warhammer thing.
Yeah, which I think that could be fun. That could be a cool I liked the the other Warhammer movie they did.
Warcraft, you mean?
Warcraft. Yeah, no Warhammer. Warcraft.
Two different properties, Russ.
I know, man. I'm sorry, dude. There's so much alike, though, man. Oh, there's so much alike.
They both got war in the name.
Well, not that's not me. I mean, they're like with the Warhammer, Warcraft. Come on.
All right. We got you, Russ.
No, not that they're like the. I probably should have specified that better. The names are a lot alike. Yes, because they have war in the name. God damn it.
Oh god.
No, I think that's cool. He's doing that though. I hope. All I do is say is I hope that this new Superman movie is worth all the shit they did to make it. All the backstabbing and you know.
The movies that they announced don't fill me with hope.
I know.
You know, because you announced Superman, then you announced Supergirl, then you announced fucking the Authority coming out of and are gonna have the Engineer in Superman, and I guess that's how you're gonna fucking jumpstart that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then Mr. Terrific. It's okay, these characters do have their followings and shit, but to start and have movies based around these properties is a little fucking out there, man.
I'm telling you, it's dangerous to start doing that shit because you had to. Your core audience is going to be the comic book people, okay?
And here's the other thing: you announce all this, and you announce a Batman movie also. But we've heard about all these other properties before we've heard anything else going forward on your Batman movie.
Yeah, which is stupid. That Batman movie should be top priority in my opinion.
Yeah, you have to get that right.
Yeah, you do, and it's ridiculous. I'm crossing my fingers. I just don't know how I don't know how many more fuck ups they can afford to have. That's what I'll say. It's like, come on, guys. Before people start losing faith altogether, and the next time you go to try to make a movie, you're gonna have just a lot less. You're gonna have that hardcore fan base that you can count on to make it some money. It's gonna go, nah, we're not gonna go see that. Never mind. No.
Yeah.
We're not gonna trust you on that, right? Last week this just sucks.
I think we've been going for almost an hour and a half, so I think we can cut it. But I wanted to just do one last thing coming off of what you're saying, Russ, trust in the franchise and shit.
Yeah, I do.
Stewards, man.
There's a rumor that Jensen Ackles could be their DC Batman.
I've heard him and then that Alan Rickson guy.
Yeah, the dude that plays Reacher.
Which my
wife loves him to death, but I don't think you can have Dean Winchester as Batman. The voice works obviously for animation.
Yeah, they did. That's been the case for a few movies and everything. That Reacher guy, I don't know. I've never watched him in anything, but I think it'd be cool for Batman to just be big as fuck. You know what I mean? He's that guy's massive. Which again doesn't say anything about but I think just a physical match, I think that'd be cool to see. But I mean, Robert Pattinson definitely isn't that, and I think he's a good Batman. So
yeah, sure.
I don't know. I'm just worried about it all. You know?
Yeah, and like you said, trust is thin right now. You know, with a lot of it, I think it is, and.
I mean, we've seen Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy now. I don't think he lends himself well to Batman, in live action.
He was good as Soldier Boy, though.
Yeah, he was. But how many? Let's fucking be honest here. How many steps away from Dean Winchester is Soldier Boy?
Right.
You know, wow, they've never been seen in the same place at the same time, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's tough. T. Winchester's a great character, so I can't do. Oh man,
All
what?
right.
Yeah, that's a good one though. That's good.
I'm about to drop, man. So I'm
all
gonna go
right.
ahead and end the show here.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you both for coming out.
Is anyone doing a hangout tonight or what?
Yeah, will
E
have a
got
link
one.
for everybody in a few minutes.
Okay, I'll try to hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, I will too. Get some water on my face and wake up some more.
Yeah.
Same.
All right,
man.
As I say every other week, peace, love, and hair grease. We're out.
Adios, guys.